This mysterious badass we meet at the start of Berserk proves himself to be worthy of that very description. The scars all over the body, the one eye, the iron hand, and the dark demeanor hint at someone who is worthy of a closer look. It quickly becomes apparent that Guts will not let senseless exploitation of the weak just happen when he rescues Puck. The sheer prowess he single-handedly shows against the mercenaries and the dominance he exudes talks deeply to the audience. It is an exceptional human being, and we want to identify with him. I assess the power of a will by how much resistance, pain, torture it endures and knows how to turn to its advantage. What Nietzsche states we have already proven with Guts, and we don't even know his backstory yet and are just in the beginning of Berserk. Guts could quickly be associated with one idea of Nietzsche's, the superhuman. The superhuman, or Ubermensch, exudes extreme confidence in oneself and doesn't want to be helped from external sources of power because of the deep well within. Such individuals are truly exceptional. So exceptional, actually, that they master human qualities to a point where they master themselves. Those of the example of hunger and eating for the sake of eating, or having sex for the reason of achieving pleasure. Humans strive for power in one way or another. Ultimate power is said to help overcome life, because only the strong survive and flourish, and the weak perish. Naturally, an aim of that magnitude is frightening. Hence why such people are tried to be restrained and contained. Guts is constantly under pressure that someone will lock him up or hunt him down, as he has become the legend of the Black Swordsman. Power can be liberating, but it can simultaneously be detrimental. It produces strength, respect, and competence, yet fear, banishment, loneliness as well. As we learn the background of Guts, we understand him more and more on a personal, psychological level. We learn of his possible determination in life caused by the source of the God Hand and the Behemoths. This notion can be compared to Nietzsche's eternal recurrence, which proposed to live life as such as to be able to repeat it 1,000 times over. Unimaginable in Guts' case, right? However, the point is not to concentrate on the struggle and pain and suffering, but to build something better from it. Guts represents the spirit of moving forward. He might have as well killed himself, though he didn't. He lives in that heavy predicament, knowing that not many people can quite relate and understand his personal experience. It is unbearable at times and burns his insides to ashes. But life is about death and rebirth, and Guts steadily learned how to stand up and step out of the ashes and rebuild once again, to rebuild mental stability and bond with others. Nietzsche puts heavy emphasis on self-overcoming in his philosophy. It is done in a truly beautiful, almost mythological way how Guts has to later overcome and control the berserker armor and the beast of darkness. It is a metaphorical struggle of the very old kind, being victorious over evil and darkness. We see what immense power the armor offers as Guts put it on for the first time. Comparable to Carl Jung's shadow, the berserker armor unlocks the door to the ultimate success and still exhibits an insidious and dangerous nature after a prolonged time of use. Scherke had to magically dive into Guts' psyche and pull him out before he loses himself. She sees the inner mix of positive emotions and then the small and intense event that unlocked everlasting pain. When Tjerke finds him at the core, she reminds him of his purpose and who he is, which was an instrument to combat his feeling of dreadful nihilism and lack of belief in the value of life. Guts was meant to be the protector of Casca. Life had meaning, and a very profound one at that. After that, Guts opens his eyes through the armor, which is symbolic for him gaining control in this chaotic state, and maybe even regaining back his humanness. That's why this panel is so stunning. We know the struggle of the man, and can observe the stress he has undergone in the time inside the armor, because of the white hair. It is called oxidative stress, where cortisol released during stress situations caused hair cells to die, which contributes to aging and disease. Let's finish with one last philosophical concept of Friedrich Nietzsche, the master-slave morality. Guts knows most of all how unforgiving the berserk world is, and how weakness of the body and mind are the cause of death and suffering. For this reason, he utterly resents apostles, or people who yield to the behelit and the world, a trait which he improved upon a bit because it locked him in the cage of hatred. The master morality is characterized by nobility, strength, pursuit of power, whereas the slave one is associated with humility, compassion, and meekness. We now understand why Guts stays away from ordinary people who cannot deal with the hell he brings with himself. However, this philosophy Guts had in extreme proportions in the beginning, which heavily distorted his mind and led to loneliness. Guts is more or less a slave of his destiny, the destiny of being a sacrifice to the God Hand. It is signified by his curse mark. So, even Guts is a slave to something, to his human boundaries, to his sacrificial mark, to his destiny. It is sad how such people like Guts are misunderstood. Nietzsche says, "I am a forest and a night of dark trees. But he who is not afraid of my darkness will find banks full of roses under my cypresses." Exceptional circumstances create such individuals and in turn made them exceptional, though their strength is confused with not needing to be loved or helped. Humans reach limits, and the last one is death. Then that human vanishes forever.
No one can construct for you the bridge upon which precisely you must cross the stream of life. No one but yourself alone.